Hey guys, so hopefully this is my last voiceover for a while. It's kind of hard to find time where my son's not in the room with me, either making noise or my husband's always playing music and stuff like that. So anyways, I'm just starting off with my brows and I'm filling them in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in chocolate. Mine's getting a little bit dried out, so I probably need a new one, but I made it work.
And getting through your heartbreak, some kind of free, same for me, don't know what I need. Don't doubt me, babe, you make me wanna change. Break my bed to make me wanna stay.
Then I'm just doing what I always do and carving out my brows, just cleaning them up a little bit with a concealer. And I pretty much always use that same concealer onto my lids as a primer before the eyeshadows, but you can use a primer if you want to.
Got me falling right back, When you say it like that,
And I'm just taking some Scotch tape and placing that under my eyes so that we have a nice sharp line with the shadows. And like I said, I'm just taking that same concealer and using it on my lids as a base. Since we're using such bright colors today, I want a really nice white base to make them pop a little bit more. So I'm using the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk and just putting that onto my lid on top of my concealer. And this is just going to make the colors as pigmented and as vibrant as they can possibly be.
just speaking like a real freak. Voice in my head, in my bed, filled with you instead.
So I'm just taking a yellow shade from the Morphe 35C palette and placing it into my crease. I don't believe that the 35C palette is on the website anymore, but you can use the 35B palette or just single shadows that have yellow and greens in them. And I probably layered that yellow color about 6 or 7 times just because I wanted it to be really, really pigmented and kind of show through the greens later on.
Break my bed to make me wanna stay. I can't buy me, babe.
To highlight my brow bone, I'm using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit by Nicole Guerreiro, and I'm using the shade Forever Lit.
To make me wanna stay. I can't. When you say it like that,
Next, I'm picking up a lighter green shade and just packing that onto my lid, kind of going up into the crease, but not covering up that yellow shade. We want that to peek through.
Let me fuck you right back. Let me fuck you right back.
To deepen up the inner and outer corner, I'm taking a darker green shade and just packing that on and then leaving the middle section of my lid open because that's where we're going to go back and put the glitter, so you want to avoid that area. To make sure we don't have any fallout and that our glitter is nice and stuck into the middle of our lid, I'm using the NYX Glitter Glue and then going in with the NYX Gold Glitter and packing that right on top.
When you say it like that, let me fuck you right back.
So that the glitter is not just sitting right on top of the lid, I'm taking that dark green shade again and placing it a little bit over top of the edges of the outer and inner corner to make sure that there's no harsh lines and it's all blended together.
There's no place I can hide. 'Cause wherever I go,
And I did my lashes off camera, but these are the EyeLure lashes in 143 by Nicole Guerreiro. Then I'm spraying my face with some setting spray before our primer to make sure that our foundation really sticks. For primer, I'm using the NYX Hydra Touch Primer. So when I filmed this, I had just gotten a spray tan, so I realized my chest and my neck area is like a little bit blotchy, but that's why I'm using a shade a little bit darker, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me foundation.
be in my sheets. Down with your shit.
For concealer, I'm using the Lorac Porefection concealer. So I guess my camera cut out when I was setting my face, but I'm just using the Mercier translucent powder. For bronzer, I'm using the e.l.f. bronzer, but I did notice that it started to separate a little bit, so I took some of the Kat Von D Shade and Light and kind of went on top of it. I don't recommend the e.l.f. bronzer, it kind of sucks. Going back to the eyes, I'm using that same lighter green shade and just putting it onto my lower lash line. And then I went back and took that same NYX glitter glue and placed it on the lower lash line and then kind of just pressed more of that glitter onto that green shade. For the inner corner, I'm using that same yellow shade as before. I also took some black liner into my waterline and then did my lower lash mascara. For highlighter, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Nicole Guerreiro Glow Kit, and I used the shade Forever Young, and it was my first time using it, and I hate to sound basic, but I was most definitely shook. And I used layers and layers of this highlighter. For the lips, I did two different looks. One is a little more festive with the gold, and then the other one's more wearable, which is just a nude lip. So that's the final look. Thank you so much for watching, and again, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, drop me a comment and let me know what look you'd like to see next.